Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the call. My name is Dr. Kurt Fisnick, and Happy New Year to everyone. I know down in Australia, where Katie's from, and from all of you down under that listen to the call, it's already the morning of New Year's Eve. And here in the United States, it's the eve of New Year's Eve. So, I think it's going to be a great year. Tonight, Katie and I just really wanted to bring you some ideas on things that you can do for the new year, make it better, maybe make it healthier, maybe even help some of you reach your goals. 2017, I look at it as being a banner year. And really, for those people that just sit around and wait for it to happen, nothing's going to change. For those of you that have the guts and the go-get-'em type of attitude, it's going to be a really, really good year. This call's not a sales pitch, and it's not a high-pressure type of a call, but really what we look at as being a way to help people make some decisions because, in today's world, people are bombarded with sales gimmicks. They're bombarded with ads. Think about it. I mean, you see a picture of a man having fun with his family and doing different things, and it turns out that it's a ad for arthritis medication. You see a girl laying in bed, and it's an ad for erectile dysfunction medication. You see a beautiful a view of a scenery of the mountains, and it turns out that it's an ad for windows. And so people are trying to sell you stuff based on an emotion rather than on what the product really is. And so I tell people a little bit about myself. I'm kind of a no-nonsense guy. I went to college for engineering, and I had a dream of designing a car, helping design a car that didn't break down. And my professor, my advisor at the time, he told me, absolutely not. He said, if you do that, nobody's going to hire you. And at that time in the 80s, everything was designed around disposable products. Cars lasted a couple of years and they were thrown away. So I chose to go into chiropractic because I thought, there I'm going to have a field that I can go out and I can help people. I can help fix them. I can make them so they're indestructible. And then when I got out, I found out that really, number one, the insurance companies don't want that because on average, most people are only at a job for about 5 years. So the insurance companies kind of look at it, why do we want to pay to fix that guy up when he's going to go get a different insurance company in 5 years? So the insurance companies decide they're going to come up with a plan for just patching people up. And so when you start looking at the way that the hospitals and clinics and the way healthcare is designed, at least here in the United States, it's turned into a big business, and it's not designed around getting you healthy and that. It's designed just around patching you up. So I think that we're entering a new era in healthcare. People are really becoming citizen scientists. They can quickly Google, and they can find out what's wrong with them. They can do a little bit of research, and they can find out how they can actually do some repair themselves. And it's really becoming the hot topic around the water machine or the coffee break room. And how'd you like to tap into the market that people are talking about? How'd you like to have your own little franchise type of business where you help people get healthy and stay healthy? And that's what we're talking about when we talk about the company that all of us are in, Katie and I, and if you got on early, you heard Tim and Alan talking. And in 2017, here in the States, we've got a new president coming in, and it doesn't matter what party you belong to, things are going to change in the next year. If you live in Australia, things are going to change for you because what happens here affects you down there. It affects the whole entire world. So in 2017, I believe that's going to be a year of wealth accumulation. Things are going to change. People are going to start looking for things that they can do. And last night I was watching Fox News, and there was a report on there. They said that in the next year or two, cancer will pass heart disease as being the number one killer, the number one killing disease in the Western world. Cancer will pass heart disease. And back in 2013, the Centers for Disease Control had a report that said that cancer would be 50% worse by the year 2020. So according to the National Institutes of Health, according to the President's Council on Cancer, they've told us in the past, toxicity is the major cause of cancer. So as we look at this and we look at the different things, we can't live in a plastic bubble and say we're going to avoid it. It's in the air, it's in the water, it's everywhere that we go. And so what we want to do is we want to teach people that what if you had a company that could lower your exposure? What if you had a company that could that could take and have products that could improve the immunity of your body. So if you got exposed to toxin, it would actually make you stronger. And then what if you had something that could actually take and remove the toxins out of your body? So that's some of the stuff that Katie's going to talk about in tonight's webinar.
Thank you, Kurt. That was great. So thanks for joining us today. So in the US, it's the evening, in Australia, the morning time. So we're going to get started here with the slides in just a few seconds. So I just wanted to put forward a couple questions for you to think about as we're going through this webinar. You know, is this something important enough for me to learn about? And then will it really improve the quality of my life? So you always want to be thinking about those two questions as you're hearing the information, and if you're watching online, you'll see the slides. If you've dialed in, you can always go back and watch this recording. So we're going to get started here today. So the first slide is why Sisel, the keys to a successful business.
You know, I just wanted to introduce Katie real quick. Katie is one of my business partners from down in Australia. Her background is in natural health products. She actually was attracted to this company because of the products, and because of these products, she went from being having some really bad illnesses to being able to participate in some over the age of 40 bodybuilding contests, and she's competed and won. And if you ever meet her and see what she looks like, I mean, she's really taken and used the products in a way that she's done fantastic with it. But she understands the product background. She's got a background in IT, and so she's really good at helping us build our business, build the websites, and sharing the different things. And so tonight she's going to share a little bit of information about the owners of Sisel. She's going to share some background on how they actually got into this industry, and really share how did we come up with the idea of having these products that can change so many lives, and making it so that as we enter the network marketing industry, you know, we're on the right racehorse. We've got the right horse in the race. And so, Katie, I'm going to hand the microphone over to you, and let's get this thing rolling.
Okay, great. Thank you, Kurt. So the slide I've got in front of me, if you're watching, the Mao mission has been going on for over 30 years. So Tom Mao Sr., the president of Sisel International, he was involved in the chemical industry over 30 years ago as an industrial chemist, and he used to produce products like engine degreasers and floor strippers, you know, heavy-duty chemicals that were very strong. They had to suit up for them. There was chemical safety data sheets. And then one day he went home and checked his shampoo. He noticed that the ingredients they were using in the industry were exactly the same, and found out that the only difference is one's tested for bacteria and the other's not. And that made him quite concerned, because he knew how potentially harmful they were, certainly when they were using them in the quantities they were in industry. And that started him on a mission, and that was over 30 years ago. And that is the Mao mission. So the Mao mission is about educating, informing, and empowering millions of people around the world. So the Maos have been changing the world for over 30 years. So Tom Mao Sr. and his son Tom Mao Jr. Founded Sisel International in 2006. So the Mao mission has been a lifelong passion for the Maoers, and it's been a lifelong passion of mine. I met Tom when I was around 24, I think it was, and heard about the mission and, you know, using products that don't contain any potentially harmful ingredients. And I fell in love with that mission, and hopefully after watching this seminar you will too. So Sisel's here to build your future. So why Sisel? What makes Sisel different to any other company? So there's, you know, so many different companies out there. So firstly, Sisel has an experienced management team. So Tom Mao, with his previous company, out of 12,000 network marketing companies when they first started, and they were at the bottom, he brought the company to position 5, so 5 out of 12,000 MLMs. And that company was turning $1 billion when it was sold in 2006. So we know that the management of Sisel is experienced. Tom knows what he's doing. You know, his previous company could have grown much bigger, and he's taken all that experience, knowledge, and invested it into Sisel. So he's also created a manufacturing plant, and we have a sustainable product line. So in Utah, they have a manufacturing plant called Supernaturals, which Tom himself created, and there's over 250 products in the product line. So there really is something in there for everyone. It's not just about one or two products. You can always find something for everyone. They source all of their own ingredients. All the raw ingredients come into the manufacturing plant, and they're checked for contaminants and impurities. And so we know that the products are safe and that they're going to be around for a long time. So they have a quality and compensation. So that means that the compensation plan is really very fair, like no other. The person that actually introduces you can, well, actually, if you've been introduced by someone, you can actually earn more money than them and the person above them. So you're really getting rewarded for sharing those products with people and becoming a product of the product. So by using the products and falling in love with them, you can, make some really good money. So the company is protected by a dynasty trust. So that means that the company is going to be around for 250 years. They can't be broken up or sold. And this is a really key and important point because, I've been speaking to some people who were in previous companies, and what happened is the company either went bust or they changed the rules on them, or they're just no longer around. So we can be assured that our financial security is there, and we're going to have a stable future because Sisel will be around for a very, very long time. So Sisel, what does Sisel stand for? Sisel stands for Science, Innovation, Success, Energy, and Longevity. So as mentioned before, Sisel manufacture their own products, and that is a really unique thing to have in a company. Most MLM companies or network marketing companies outsource their manufacturing, and so they don't really have that control. So Sisel have supply chain assurance, and they have complete control over their manufacturing process. So they know that every product they produce is of consistent quality, every batch is consistent. The plant is over 400,000 square foot of sophisticated equipment and state-of-the-art. And they have just the most diversified product line, and it's just really a diversified company. So the Mauer mission is really about creating health, wealth, and happiness for Sisel distributors and customers worldwide. And I'd encourage you to jump on YouTube and check out the My Sisel stories. I was looking at them last night and watched Tom Mauer's, and he really talks about why he created Sisel and what he has and what he hopes for all of us. It's just a great little talk, so well worth listening to. So Sisel have the most spectacular, life-changing products and a fantastic business opportunity for success never imagined possible. So they have a seamless global compensation plan, which means if you introduce someone else in another country, you're going to get paid in your currency, and they're open in 40 countries and counting. So Sisel's revolutionary industries. So there's actually 7, and so Kurt's going to talk about the 7th, which is the compensation plan, and I'm going to cover the other 6. So the Sisel beauty industry is a massive industry. So the beauty industry itself is a $245 billion industry. So what does that mean? It means that people around the world are spending a lot of money on these sorts of products, and that includes your skincare products, all your makeup, anti-aging products for the face and body. So this is just a massive industry. So people are already using these sorts of products, and if you can demonstrate how Sisel's products are superior, which is very easy to do, firstly by using them yourself, you'll notice a massive difference, and secondly, sharing testimonials, before and after photos. If you can demonstrate how they're superior, it's easy to get people to make a switch. The other thing is that you want to point out to people that it's highly likely that the current products they're using, say for instance lipstick in their makeup, has lead and other really nasty toxins, and those are getting absorbed into the body. So you need to ask yourself, do you want those chemicals on your face and going into your body? I know I certainly don't, and that's why I started using Tom's products. I think it's around 16 years ago now. So now moving on to the longevity range of products. So longevity. So as we age, we're more likely to get age-related diseases and illness, and so if we can help to turn back the clock and help support our body, then why wouldn't you want to do that? It's likely that your neighbor or a family member, anyone that you know, is already using some sort of supplement that they believe is helping them. And there's been a study that's done, a recent study that says 99% of people are missing key nutrients. So unless you're in that 1%, which is unlikely, it is very likely that you are missing key nutrients. And this line of products will certainly support your body in providing you with an excellent source of nutrition. We've got the Triangle of Life, which are megatonics in liquid form, highly absorbable. People notice amazing benefits from using these products. And then we've got one of my favorite, which is TSX, Telomere Support Extreme, which really supports your DNA and your telomeres. So these are just an awesome range of products. So Sisel Life, their range of products, which is their bathroom products, bathroom and personal care. So this industry is a $120 billion industry. So, people are using these sorts of products on a daily basis. They're using shampoo, bubble bath, hand wash, dishwashing liquid, laundry detergent. So really demonstrating how Sisel's products are superior. Sisel has the stamp of Sisel Safe. All the ingredients have been checked and to ensure that they don't contain any potentially harmful ingredients. And unless you know how to read labels, and even if you do, you can fall into the trap of thinking that, oh, this ingredient is bad and I know about this and that. But unless you're a biochemist and unless you've actually produced the product yourself, you wouldn't know that those chemicals are harmful or not, because you can change the molecular weight of an ingredient. You can even do things like encasing like titanium I think it's dioxide in a lake, which makes it inert, so it's no longer a carcinogen. So, if you're trying to read labels, it gets all too difficult. So we just really trust Tom Maurer, that he's checked all the ingredients. I mean, that's been his mission for 30 years, so why would he change that now? That is really the foundation of Sisel. So these products in this range is a $120 billion industry. So then we move on to the coffee industry. So the world's tastiest coffee and healthiest. So Sisel have been using a coffee bean that's been ranked the best tasting coffee bean for over 14 years. Not only that, Sisel's coffee is unique because it is the healthiest. If you go into a Starbucks in the state of California, and you'll see the warnings up about acrylamide in their coffee, saying that it's a carcinogen and warning you about the dangers. That's only in the state of California. It's not done here in Australia or other states in the US. But the reason that is because when they make coffee, and this goes for all types of coffee, unless they've specifically stated otherwise, they roast the beans, and in the roasting process, a byproduct called acrylamide is created, which is a carcinogen. So Sisel's Cafe range is free from those nasty ingredients and acrylamide. As well as that, they're infused with a whole bunch of other healthy ingredients that support the body's health, and people notice real benefits from drinking Sisel Cafe range. We also have the Fire and Ice Tea, which I absolutely love. This is a great replacement for Diet Coke or Diet Sodas, energy drinks. It's high in B vitamins and C. It's got some buffered caffeine in there. It gives you a real boost, and it's just an awesome drink. You drink it cold, so this is perfect time if you're in Australia to be drinking and trying this product. Absolutely love it. And then of course we've got Sencha green tea, and everyone knows the benefits of green tea. So the coffee industry is a $100 billion industry. Pretty much most people are drinking coffee or tea. So if you demonstrate why Sisel's products are superior, give them a sample. It's easy for people to make that switch to Sisel's products. And then we've got the Sisel Trim line of products. So the weight loss industry and weight loss products is a $135 billion industry. Everybody wants to lose weight or maintain their weight, and I guess this is probably the biggest New Year's resolution for most people is, I'm going to eat healthier, I'm going to try and do some more exercise, I'm going to look after myself. Even for myself, as Kurt previously mentioned, I started doing over 40s bodybuilding competitions only a couple years ago. I'm 42 now. And I've used these products, and I use these products to help maintain my weight, and I certainly use them going into competition to really support my body and get my body to the physique that helps me with my competition. So I'm a testimony to these products, absolutely love them. The shake is awesome, and you'll find that most people are having some sort of shake in their diet. Nothing can replace a healthy diet, but certainly when you're in a rush and you want something quick that's a healthy alternative, the Sisel products and the Sisel Lean Shake is an awesome option. So as I mentioned, it's a $135 billion industry. So now we're moving on to the last one before Kurt starts, before I hand back over to Kurt. And so the Super H2 water filter. So Sisel produced an awesome water filter. And many of you may have seen or probably have seen the movie Erin Brockovich. So just by watching that movie, you'll get an understanding of what sort of chemicals and nasty ingredients can seep into our water supply. And you know what? You wouldn't know. When you're drinking your glass of water from your tap, you actually have no idea what's in that water. You're just trusting that it's okay, that it's safe enough to drink. And I'm sure that it is, but over a long period of time, you need to ask yourself what chemicals are in your drinking water and how are they affecting your body. So Sisel have the solution there with their Super H2 water filter. So now it removes fluoride, chlorine, carcinogens, mutagens, pharmaceutical residues, all the nasty ingredients that you don't want in water. So you want to be left with some pure, fresh water to drink that's great for your body, that's going to help cleanse your body. But it does something extra, and that is that it infuses the water with diatomic hydrogen. So diatomic hydrogen is infused into the water in a gas particle form as it goes through a membrane in the filter. And you can jump onto pubmed.gov and search for diatomic hydrogen, and you'll get numerous studies on the therapeutic benefits of diatomic hydrogen. So I encourage you to look into that for yourself. So what an awesome water filter. And this industry is just going to grow over the future, because they say even in about 50 years that all the world's water supply will be polluted. So that's a $100 billion industry at the moment and growing.
Well, Katie, thanks for covering all the product lines and the Mauer mission and everything that's just so exciting about our company. You do so well on that. What I would like to do now is Alan Hordell out of Canada, if you want to hit *6, Alan has been in the network marketing industry probably almost since it was invented. I'm just kidding you, Alan. But Alan's made millions of dollars in the industry. He's considered to be one of the leaders. And Alan's just going to share a quick story on what this can really mean for those of you that are listening to this presentation. What can it really mean if you get started with it? So Alan, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Kurt. Can everybody hear me okay?
Loud and clear.
Good. Well, first of all, I want to wish a Happy New Year to each and every one of you, especially the people down under right now. I know you're into Saturday and you're into the New Year's Eve festivities, and we'll be going into those tomorrow. And boy, what a time of the year. 2017 is coming upon us, and it marks about my 39th year of being full-time in network marketing. But what's really interesting is that I told Kurt today, I'd love to take the opportunity and talk to each and every one of you tonight about really talking about the money that can be made in this industry. 39 years full-time in an industry is a lifetime. It is truly a lifetime. And people say, wow, you've been 39 years full-time. And he said, why? And I said, well, I could never, ever afford, with grade 10 education and a dumb old hockey player, other than pumping gas, to make the kind of money that I've been able to make in the last 39 years. The first 5 years of my business, I learned the industry. And then I had the opportunity to latch on to one of the largest companies. Well, it was a startup company at the time, became one of the largest companies in the world, doing $7 billion a year. But I'm going to tell you a little episode. If I was to come to each and every one of you today and say to you, how would you like to make $1 million in the next 5 years? I don't think there's a single person on this call would say no to me. And if I said to you, would you follow me, just follow me for the next 5 years and do what I tell you to do in the next 5 years, and if you do that, I can tell you you're going to make $1 million. Would you do it? And I don't think there's too many people say they wouldn't. Well, guess what? That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to take people and we're going to say to them, do exactly what I do exactly what we do, and just follow our lead. And for the next 5 years, take 5 years of commitment out of your life to make $1 million. Now, that's approximately $200,000 a year. Let me tell you a little story what happened to me. in 1999, I was very fortunate had a phone call on my birthday, May 10th, 1999, to actually come and help start a company in Virginia. And in that company, we started out with one product. Nothing like Sisel's got today. Sisel's got today one of the most incredible products in the world that Katie was just talking about. But I had the opportunity to come in and introducing a product to the world that hadn't been seen before virtually. And then we introduced another product to the world that had never been seen. And then in 2003, I teamed up with two gentlemen, Art and Rob Phelps, who had just finished coming out of a huge company and making over $15 million. And they came to our company and we got together and they said, in the next 5 years, we're going to make several $1 million. I said, okay, let's go do it. And you know what? We put in 5 years, 150,000 people in a business. And out of that 150,000 people, we generated $7.3 million in commissions back into our pockets. How did we do that? Simply by following a system. Simply by following exactly what I'm talking about now. People, understand one thing. If you think that you're going to go out into the network marketing arena today by yourself and try to make a living and try to make a commission, you might make a few dollars, but you're never going to achieve what you really think you can achieve. By working with a mentor, by working with a team, by working with a group, with a system, you can do it. And it's so true. So over the years, I've been very fortunate to be with a company that became a $7 billion a year company. Very fortunate to be with a company of 17 years where it made over $7 million. Been very fortunate to come to a company with Mr. Tom Maurer, who Katie knew long before I did. And the reason I came to a company wasn't because of the money. It was because I was in a horrific accident that I was clinically dead in 10 years ago. I came to the company because of product. Once I saw the marketing plan that they had, and over the years it's actually been enhanced even better. Once I saw the marketing plan that this company has derived, and if I could teach you, just teach you weekly how to take this marketing plan and take it step by step on a progression and move it into your business, I will guarantee you, I will absolutely guarantee you, if you're introducing it into at least 15 to 20 people per week, and bringing them to a call or a training, within 5 years, you will be making $1 million, because there is nothing. First of all, we know the products. We know the manufacturing. There's no word about that. We've got the greatest products in the world. We've got the greatest manufacturing in the world. Katie told you that. I can attest to that. I can attest to that over and over and over with testimonials. But what I want to do is I want to break down the compensation plan someday for you, and I want to show you how you can turn this compensation plan in, starting at the $50, moving to the $100, moving up to the $200, and then to the $250 as a progression, and earning tens of thousands of dollars in the process of doing that. And that is something that's so important. I know that Kurt's going to talk to you about the marketing plan, but please keep in the back of your mind, one thing. The money that I made in this industry, if I would have had the Sisel compensation plan the way it sits today, and the compensation plans that I was working with before, especially a stair-step breakaway back in the 80s, where we made all that money with that $7 billion company, or just a straight unilevel with incredible rank advancement totals that you had to have group volumes that right out of this world. And if I had this marketing plan back in those years and over those years, let me tell you something. It would be astronomical. So let me work with you. Let Kurt work with you. Let us work with you to help you build your business, because that's what it's about. It's helping you. But once we help you, you help everybody have the success that you want. 2017 is going to be the biggest year Sisel's ever had. Mark my words, the biggest business or biggest year Sisel's ever had will be 2017. 10-year-old company with a track record never seen before in this industry. Let me tell you something. Follow us. Sign up. Get involved. Say, I want to make $1 million in 5 years. And guess what's going to happen? At the end of the 5 years, you're going to make $1 million. Back to you, Kurt.
Thanks, Alan. Thanks for your great testimonial. And and I'll cover a little bit on kind of the compensation plan and really getting started. You know, doesn't life just have a way of throwing curveballs at us? Like Alan was saying, he was in the prime of his life, doing well, and all of a sudden he's in a bad snowmobile accident. He ends up in the hospital and almost dying. You know, but most people, they don't have horrendous accidents like that. You know, they dream of having that big house, the big boat, the fancy car, all those different things, and then life just has a way of getting in the way. The sports car turns into a minivan. The big nice house turns into a modest home. You know, and those big fancy vacations that you had planned when you were in high school, all of a sudden they turn into just, you know, little weekend trips here and there that you can afford to go on, and at private school and all those different things that you had planned just don't happen. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's what I had when I grew up, and I think I turned out okay for the most part. But, you know, my dad and I were out the other day, you know, and we were hunting, and we were talking, and I was trying to figure out, you know, talking to my dad about, does him and my mom, they're nearing 80 years old, do they have enough money? I mean, I'm worried about that. And my dad, he laughs at me, and he said, you know, we have enough money, we could live forever. And I paused for a little bit, and I thought about that, and I thought, wow, what a great thing to say. I mean, think about it. If you could say that to your kids, if you could say that to yourself, that you have enough money put away that you can live forever. You know I certainly don't have that kind of money. And unless I learn to live on very little, a little bit less than what I've ever lived on. And you know, I think about other people. They say that the average person in the United States has only traveled to 8 states. Only 8. That's the average. I've been to 49 out of 50 states. I've been to 3 continents. I've been to 49 different, 12 different countries. And I want to be able to do that kind of thing forever. I want to be able to travel forever like my mom and my dad do. And you think about that. Wouldn't that be what you want? You don't want to be locked up in some little apartment in some little nursing home doing things like that. And so here's a business that you can make this kind of money like Alan was talking about. You know, and what if you can't make $1 million in the next 5 years? What if it's only $500,000? What if it's only $200,000? I mean, that's extra money over and above what you already have. And so what I try and tell people is that when I talk to new people, the first thing they do is think of it like they're looking at a traditional business. They're going and applying for a job, and they have 3 questions. Number 1, what do they have to do? What am I asking them to do? Number 2, how often do they have to do that? And number 3, what are they going to get paid? And like Alan said, all you have to do is find people, locate people that are looking to make a change in their life. It's a perfect time of the year for doing that. New Year's resolutions. People are looking for changes. They're looking for changes. And so here we have a company that can introduce changes to them. And so you just say, let me show you how to do this. You can introduce people, get them into the system, and then the question is, how often do you have to do that? Well, the answer to that is that it depends on how good you are. If you've got a lot of credibility and you've got people that follow you, no matter what you say to do, they'll do it, then you don't have to talk to very many people. I mean, you could talk to 1 or 2, and you're going to have people joining you left and right. But if your credibility is normal and average, like most people, like Alan said, talk to 2 or 3 people every single day and just simply ask them, hey, if I could show you a way of doing this, of getting healthier, of meeting your New Year's resolutions, would you have an interest? That's all you have to do. And then you introduce them to what we're doing. Introduce them to this call every Friday night, or you can go on our website and you can listen to the webinar. You can have them listen to it. Sisel has 7 different product lines, including the compensation. And we give you the opportunity. You get to pick and choose what you want. You don't have to do coffee if you don't like coffee. You don't have to talk about beauty care if you don't want to talk about beauty care. You don't have to talk about any of the different products except for the ones that you want to talk about. That's the beauty of having this kind of a business like we do. And so if that makes sense, you know, that's what you get paid. So let the system do the work for you. The next question that people have is that, okay, it doesn't sound that bad. What are you going to pay me to do it? Well, the answer is really simple. If you want to make a replacement income, you've got to introduce this to a lot of people, and you want to do it quickly. If you want to start out slowly, maybe you only want to make enough money to make your house payment, then you can start out a little bit more slowly, but just always remember, whatever you do, the people that you introduce it to do, they're basically going to do the same thing. They're going to follow you. They're going to follow the leader. And so my goal is every single week, I'm going to introduce this to enough people that I can bring 2 people on calls just like this. Maybe this one, maybe a recording of this one, maybe another one of the calls that the company has. We have calls that are going on almost every single night. And so really, it depends on the credibility that I have, but also on my audience. If I'm talking to somebody that they're real skeptic, I'm going to have to talk to more people. So that brings us to the question on how much will you get paid? So I'm going to talk a little bit about the compensation plan. I'm not going to get into it in detail, but Sisel has a way that you get paid immediately. You get immediate gratification. If I go out and talk to a new person today and they say, hey, I want a piece of that. I want a piece of the action. I'm going to have a check in my e-wallet tomorrow for helping that person get started. Think about that. I'm going to have the money paid to me tomorrow. I'm not going to have to wait 2 weeks and wonder, am I going to get paid? Is Sisel going to pay me? Right? There's a lot of companies out there. We've all heard horror stories where the company says, oh, yeah, we're going to pay you this. 2 weeks later, nothing. Month later, nothing. Sisel, we get paid tomorrow. So if you find people that are interested, you can get paid right away. And the company's been paying out like that every day for the last 10 years. We're a 10-year-old company, and Tom has the money, and the thing is that we're a debt-free company. We actually are a debt-free company. We're not just saying that like a lot of companies do. So you'll make 20% of the purchase of your new business partners. You'll make 20% for life on all the new customers that you acquire. You think about that, like Katie was talking about. What if you have somebody that's looking for a way of having safe water to drink? You get paid for that. What if you have somebody who likes to drink coffee and they wouldn't mind drinking the healthiest coffee on the planet? You get paid for that every time they have a cup of coffee. So not only do we get paid for our own work, but think about this. I helped Alan get started. So when Alan goes out and brings in his friend Robert, when Robert gets started, Alan's gonna make a commission based on getting Robert started, but I'm also gonna make a commission on that. So now all of a sudden I'm in a leveraged business. I can help Alan. Alan can make money, and I get paid on that. And so you look at that, and you just go, holy cow! I'm gonna help Alan make a lot of money. I'm gonna help Katie make a lot of money, because if they make money, I make money. It's not like going traditional business where you won't tell the guy in the next cubicle over what you're doing because you don't want to get looked over on that next promotion. We don't have that over here. We actually get paid for helping other people. We get paid matching bonuses. And so if Alan makes a check, if he makes $10,000, I make $1,000 because Alan made $10,000. Think about that. I mean, it's just unreal. But this is real, folks, and not only do that, we get help for helping people, we get paid for bringing in our own people, but we also get paid for building teams. We get compensation. We get bonuses for building teams of people. And so when you have teams of happy, healthy customers, teams of people that are going out and working, you get paid bonuses, matching bonuses. Again, it's just unreal. On top of that, just like in traditional business, as you build your business, in traditional business, you get what's called a promotion. In Sisel, we get paid rank advancement bonuses. As you build your business, you get paid bonuses for building your business over and over, for building it bigger. On top of all of those things, I've been on a free trip to Europe. I went to Europe on the company nickel. I went to Mexico on the company nickel. I've been on several other vacations across the United States that Sisel's paid for. In March, I'm going to be on my first cruise. I've never been on a cruise. I'm excited. I'm going to be in a nice cabin with a balcony on the second largest ship in the Caribbean. Think about that. It's not going to cost me a dime, and I'm going to bring a guest with me. We're going to have a lot of fun. It's all free. I drive a brand new car. Every 18 months, I'm trading in and getting a brand new car. I haven't made a car payment now in 5 years. Think about that. How many of you can say that you get a brand new car paid for by your company just for doing what you do? And really, in all honesty, folks, if you talk to any of my friends, they tell you they don't even really know what I do because it just doesn't seem like I'm ever working. You know, like Alan said, he said that you can get started for as low as $50. Our top bracket, how much overhead you have to have, and think of it like overhead. If you're running a business, if you're running a hot dog stand, you got to have buns and wieners. Well, when we're talking about Sisel, you've got to have some products on hand. You got to be using some products. The highest overhead that you need is $250 a month. So you think about that. You could start a small business for $50. If you want to get started with a larger business, it's $250. That's it. That's all you have to do. And then the investments for your future, it goes on and on and on. I just went out to dinner with my folks and with my kids, and I was telling them how, if something happens to me, this business passes on. It's a legacy business that you can pass on over and over and over again, and it's just amazing how it works, and it will change your life, and I really believe that 2017 is our year. So, Katie, I'm going to hand it back to you to close out the call.
Thanks, Kurt. That was awesome. So we're really fortunate to have Kurt on these calls, because I just wanted to mention that Kurt is a chiropractor, but he's a doctor, and he's been in the industry for over 30 years, and about 20 years ago started studying age reversal medicine. So he's extremely knowledgeable on the products and also on the business. So it's just great to have him on the call, and invite you to join us next week on the call, because every week we'll be having a call like this, and bring a guest along. Get them to jump on the call, listen and watch the presentation, and bring as many people as you can. So I want to thank you for joining the call, and I hope that you have a really great New Year's Eve, and think about your New Year's resolutions. So this is just a great opportunity to start making these changes that are really going to impact your life in a positive way. So I want to thank you for joining the call, and we'll finish up there. And please get back to the person that invited you to this call. And if you're not sure who that is, call the person above them and ask them how you can get started. So thanks for joining us today.